Hello, people. Welcome to RLSH Lair. Season 1, Episode 4, Communications and Personal Problems. As you know, I am Figment.
Dark Ghost.
And Wolf, and the cat in the background.
And this episode, we're going to have me, well, actually, all three of us, actually been facing a few personal problems in our lives lately. And if you're watching this live, you should notice up in the right-hand corner, you should have some cards. Actually, one card that you see. And that card should tell you a little bit about what's a donation link for something that's kind of important right now. But go ahead,
Yes.
Dark Ghost, tell them what's going on with you.
Well, it's going to be a long story, so I'm just going to start at the beginning. I have a daughter. And last year, we lost custody of her. By means of, I was forced to sign over custody under duress. I was told either sign over custody or I'd be on the streets, living on the streets. Which, either way, I was guaranteed to lose my daughter. Because living on the streets, yeah, they're going to take my kid. Then when the court date for custody came up, my own parent lied and said it was canceled even though it hadn't been. Well, we didn't, so because we was informed, the court date has been canceled, we didn't go. Stupid on my part. And now it seems this parent is trying to outright adopt my daughter from under us. Let me make this clear, folks. I love my daughter. I honestly feel I should be the one raising her, not my mother. I'm about to go to the Air Force, as I said on previous episodes, which means I can provide a much better education for this child, my daughter. And someone's trying to take her from me, and they're using every legal loophole they can. And now we're seeking money to get a lawyer because she's fixed it. Okay, my wife has a breakdown, complete amnesia. Don't remember giving birth 3 months prior to this amnesia event. Oh, she gets better. We have to sign over custody. We start getting up money to where we can get on our feet enough to get out of Rome, maybe even get a lawyer to fight this. Boom! We're both slapped with child support. Now I'm about to head out for basic. All of a sudden, it's trying to where she's trying to seems she's trying to adopt her out from under us. So we're trying to raise money to get a lawyer. That's what the card's about. To help me get my daughter back, to be the father that I'm supposed to be, to raise my child. Because I honestly fell in love with her the moment I first held her in her arms when she was first born. I can say this, folks. I do get to see her whenever she's not in school. She's in a Head Start program. She's already proven to be highly intelligent. Which I'm proud of that fact. I just want my daughter back with her parents, where she belongs. Not with this twisted person who dares calls herself my mother. Who used every legal loophole she could to basically legally kidnap my child from me.
Okay, I think it's time to give Dark Ghost a little break so he can recompose himself a little bit. But right now, I'm facing similar issues in my life. I've been taking care of my dad 24/7 for the last 4 years. Since then, I've had a relative that has caused massive problems, such as seeking adult protection services on me. I've tried to get help with finances concerning his medical and food, because he's also diabetic, on some pretty strong medication. It's causing me to lose hair from the excess stress. I still go out there and do this stuff with a mask, but we all have personal problems in our life. I'd go into a lot more details, but there are people that in the area that also know what's going on, and it would be too much to who I really am, because I do other things in the community too. I know Wolf's been facing some problems with his congregation that he has together, with people attacking it, so he has some personal problems. Not the same level ours are, but we all face personal problems. I felt it was important that we kind of let the world know that we all have them. So if Wolf wants to talk about his problems a little bit, we can let him, then we'll get on to the rest of the show.
Always remember to unmute yourself before you start talking. That helps greatly. No, most of the incidents have been on Wikipedia and a few other sites. I usually get a lot of hate mail because I am associated with Universal Life Church and actually stand up for Universal Life Church. A lot of this propaganda actually started when the monastery broke away from the original Universal Life Church, and that was taken over, hostile takeover, and one guy fled to Florida where he created his own Universal Life Church there, and they started putting out all this propaganda against the original. So a lot of the hate and everything that's going on is because of propaganda that breakaways have done. The only legit Universal Life Church is in Modesto. There's also the bookstore run by Kevin Andrews, which is associated with them, and the Universal Life Church Seminary. They're all those three original ones, and they're actually legitimate churches in and of themselves. But the false ones have a lot of people that do their bidding, like go on and put all this propaganda out, and of course most of us are trying to clean that up.
Okay, I'm gonna unmute Dark Ghost. Looks like he's ready to talk if he wants to unmute. So I muted him because he was having issues and didn't want them interfering with what everybody else said, and it's not letting me unmute him. He must be muted at his own end. If not, I'll have to figure out what's going on with him. But if Dark, okay, it's just unmuted. But yeah, there's problems that we all face in our real life situations, which make it difficult to do things with the mask. We're not above what anybody else does. We're on the same playfield as everybody else. We just do other things. We do tend to stretch ourselves out thin and put our side life on the side. And I would not feel bad if Dark Ghost has to step away for a few minutes, so and come back in. Because what he talked about does bug him a lot, and I do appreciate him doing that. So I'm putting that out there right now. So, but we were going to talk about communications in general in the RLSH community, and this actually went a little bit faster for an introduction than I thought it would. There's people in the RLSH community lack a certain level of communication with each other, and that's a problem. That's a problem I see developing big time. They want to connect with only their little niche of groups, or they feel that it's either their way or the people are completely and utterly wrong. So they try to badmouth them and make them look bad to everybody else, and that doesn't do anything for any of us.
Yeah,
Gives us
Figment, now I've collected myself, I would like to make a side note that Figment can attest this, I was ready to throw the mask off live on camera if it helped the cause. I was.
Believe it or not, I was ready to quickly block out your screen so you wouldn't make that mistake.
I'm not going to. Because my daughter is more important than this to me.
Yes, we talked about that a few nights ago, and I told you not to do it.
I'm not going to. Don't worry. I just wanted to bring that out there because, yes, folks, I was ready to take all this off and let you see who I was. I was going to tell all.
Yeah, the stress that Dark Ghost and Discordia are going under right now is actually affecting their job that pays their bills, too. So, it was kind of a serious issue. But going back to the communication issues, everybody likes to lean on Facebook, but Facebook likes to censor people's posts. You don't see everybody's posts and all that stuff. So if you're using just Facebook, you're shooting yourself in the foot for your communication.
Yeah, you're cutting your own nose off if you just rely on Facebook.
On that. Misunderstandings happening on Facebook, and plus Facebook has a habit of, if you make a post, there's no telling how many people will see that post because of just the way Facebook is.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, you use an iPhone or of alternate sexual orientation, obviously, then Facebook really cheers you on and shows it to everybody, whether they want to see it or not.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of that. And yeah, Facebook, you need to fix your shit. Pardon my language. Sorry.
Don't worry about this. It's I expected to have some bad language.
Facebook, you need to fix your problems because you're affecting a very large community. Yes, I'm talking to you.
Yeah. I mean, they just don't take us seriously because we have these little masks on. But, or some of us do, some of us don't. And I'll be honest, the reason why I'm wearing my I'm a terrorist mask that's on really loose, as you can tell, is I'm still swollen from a blood-borne and bone-borne infection. In fact, there are my drugs I have to take every 6 hours.
I'm the lightweight. One little Benadryl and I'm out for like 15 hours.
Yeah, we're not going to discuss what the side effects of these things are.
Yeah, we want people to watch the show, not get disgusted.
Also, even if you have a cell phone, it's out of minutes. Carry one with you. The 911 will still work. And plus, around Wi-Fi, if it's open, you can still use the net, too.
Yes, cell phones are a good thing to carry with you because they will work in areas, in cities they work really good. These are kind of limited in features on how good far they go, and they won't get you the cops. They won't get you EMS.
Yeah, this is just one of those little track phones you can get at the dollar store. The dollar store is the best, or Dollar General is the best because you can get a phone for like $30 and pay like $30 a month. Walmart, their track phones is about $45 a month, so about $10 difference there.
Yeah, folks, we got two nicotine people on here. Figment vaping, and me, of course, well, doing the worst of it, actually smoking.
Oh, when it comes to communications, though, ones like this will work where your cell phones won't. I do a lot of stuff out. I do a lot of stuff out in the middle of the high desert where there is no cell phone coverage. This will always get me coverage.
I have one of the big. I have one of the big walkie-talkies. Actually, it's not a walkie-talkie. It's a weather radar, and it gives me all the alerts and everything. But I dropped it, and now I got to do some work on it so it start working again.
Fun.
I have to invest in a mask.
Hey, this just goes back to showing, hey, we got problems, folks. And sometimes it's just technical problems with our mask, our equipment, or stuff going on in our personal lives.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or all
you guys,
three
you
at once.
guys didn't know
Let's
this
not go there.
So.
Yeah, now that was a Baofeng, wasn't it, that you held up, Figment?
What? No, this is not Baofeng.
Okay.
This is a Vectronics. This is a little bit higher than the Baofeng.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to show the equipment, you might as well give them a cheap pop. You know what I'm saying? A cheap advertisement plug.
Oh yeah, the Baofengs are like $39 to $40 on Amazon. They're cheap. This is like $200.
Yeah.
But going back to cell phones, you can get some really cheap service out there. There's a company called Freedom Pop. If you buy the phone outright, you can get 500 minutes talk time, 500 texts, and 500 megs of data free every month, as long as you're in the Sprint network coverage area. Or you can pay $30 a month and have unlimited everything. And there's not very many cell phone providers that provide unlimited data. I'm frugal, and that's who I use. It's not the best phone coverage, but it works. And see, no, I'm not drinking this Rockstar, people. It's my makeshift instant holder. With a holder, I gotta make bigger on the camera for that stick.
Yeah. And since we're talking about personal problems, I want to say this outright. Sorry, Figment, didn't know you're still going.
Go ahead, go. I was still in dead air.
I'm the only Christian in the group, but I will say this. Anyone has a problem with Wolf or Figment because their beliefs, come talk to me. Because trust me, you're misinterpreting the Bible if you claim to be Christian or Baptist, and you hate.
Oh, there's the cat.
Yeah, we're getting a special announcement by the cat.
I think the cat's applauding me, honestly, folks, because I just stood up for two pagans.
Actually, that cat likes attention, and if you don't get it, he'll holler, especially in the middle of the night when everybody's in bed.
Oh well.
But, like last week was mentioned on the show, Dark Ghost mentioned you'd like to see, like, this is the actual camp stoves I give out my Carrot Cat pack. It's pretty much nothing of a stove. Cheap, easy to make. This is my cook pots that I actually use, even myself, I use ones like this. This is a coffee can. This coffee can.
I was about to say, it looks like an old coffee can there, pal.
And there's my chunk of aluminum foil for a windscreen and lid for the pot. That's actually what I have in my backpack. Those camp stoves are made from one of these. This is a Fancy Feast 59-cent can of cat food. You can also use Hormel potted meat cans, so they have to be aluminum and 3-ounce size. Here's one that's been semi-cleaned out, rounded out the edges a little bit, rinsed out, pulled the label off, and there's the other tool you need. A simple hole punch. During the rest of the show, I'll be kind of tinkering with this one to make one off camera, but I'll raise up and show it to you intermittently. It's just go around it. And I'm on drugs right now and multitasking. Gives you an idea. Just go around it, punch holes in it, like such, all the way around the edges. You'll have those little things all stay inside. All you have to do is push them down with your fingers, pry them down. They fold down just fine. And then do a second row, staggered. It's not that hard.
Now, while we're on the subject of your camp stove, since you're obviously making yours yourself, what do you use for fuel in homemade camp stove?
These are alcohol stoves. You can run denatured alcohol, not rubbing alcohol, not isopropyl, because it will dirty up your pots. It doesn't burn clean. Or you can use methylene, otherwise known as the heat in the yellow bottles.
Now, what is that particular product usually used for?
This is water. This is antifreeze for your fuel lines in your car. This stuff is also can buy bought a lot cheaper in a lot larger quantities at truck stops as air brake cleaner. Now it is toxic. Denatured alcohol burns hotter, but that stuff burns better in cold weather. And I tend to give that out in care packs, the smaller bottles, so they know what to get when they're out. Because for $2, they can have, well, let's see here. This will last approximately 12 days worth of camp fuel. So that's 2 meals a day worth.
Now, you said that was
days.
toxic.
Yeah, you don't want to drink
So, yeah, obviously, but what about cooking with it?
perfectly fine.
When the power was out, I made the coffee can heater. And all you do is take a coffee can, take the center out of a roll of toilet paper, shove the toilet paper in the can, fill it full of rubbing alcohol, let it soak up, and then light it on.
Oh, buddy warmer.
Huh.
But like I said, these things are pretty quick to make. I'm almost done with this one. This one, more than halfway done. And because I have cats, these are essentially free for me. I'm not going out specially buying them.
Yeah.
That's why the Hormel meat cans are something to keep in mind. See, these are things when you're out doing stuff, you can actually show the homeless how to make these out of like potted meat too. I mean, because these aren't going to last forever, but they'll last a good 1-2 years as long as you don't step on them. I will break down some of the other alcohol stove designs, but this is the easiest to use, fastest to build, and cheapest all the way around. See, this one I went through and punched them all, and I got to push all those little tabs down. I can either use my finger or I'm going to cheat and use a screwdriver. Make this a little bit easier.
MacGyver would be proud.
I'd end up cutting my hand or something. For those that didn't see the picture I posted of when I was chopping up the garlic and went like halfway into my thumb nail.
Yeah. No offense, Wolf. You're kind of accident prone, buddy.
I know. I can't help it.
Yeah. You might want to learn a lot of the backwoods and traditional first aid, man. Which you probably already know.
Yeah.
I think Wolf needs to have an EMT scene standby when he does housework.
Yeah. I do.
Oh,
the good thing about being accident prone, my immune system is almost completely great. I can heal up from a cut in about a week. And if I get sick, it's only a day or two, and then it's on.
Now, if you're anything like me, Wolf, when you get sick, which is rarity, but when you get sick, you just don't want to do jack. You just want to stay in bed like, ugh, God, what's the matter with me? You feel like you just want to die at those 2 days, then the next day, the third day, like, oh, hey, I'm feeling better.
Yeah.
Now, just to let you know how quick and easy these are make, this one's half done.
Wow.
Cattail.
So, I just have to do another set of holes off center with the current ones.
Now I saw something. Wolf is kind of like the redneck merc with the higher intelligence, yet he's accident prone. That's kind of scary.
Yeah, that is. I've been banned when on Paradox Core property. I've been banned from touching any power equipment.
Oh my God.
Any power tools or anything like that, nope, I can't touch. I'd also
I don't
recommend
know.
everybody grab or send off for every tactical, military surplus, any catalog you can get your hands on.
Yeah, I'm about to have that stuff for free about another 2 months.
Yeah.
Yes, I do recommend you get military tactical improvised things. Um, Camping supplies and stores, how-to manuals, knots. Those things are kind of necessary for you to know in RLSH work.
And those do-it-yourself manuals too. They have a lot of
Yeah.
use for, they don't have to be military, but they're just like do it yourself. Those are useful.
Yeah, Instructables.com, a good
Yes.
website for those who want to save money too. They'll walk you through on how to build a lot of useful things. In fact, these little camp stoves, I'm almost done making this one on. There's a few of pages in there about how to make them too.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's talk about communications. Another good means of communication is what we're doing right now. Do a broadcast, people.
Or
Yeah, you
YouTube.
notice yeah,
I've just actually started rebooting my YouTube channel. And when you have ADHD, get a post-it note, outline what you want to talk about, stick it to the monitor.
or she'll have shows
Even then, there's a slim chance you'll stick to what you're wanting to actually talk about.
And,
if you have subjects like we do, make sure you go back to the same subject that you originally planned to, like we are trying to do.
Yeah.
And those keyword there was trying. We are failing miserably. But anyways.
yeah,
We're all
because
ADHD.
Facebook is not the best messaging system because, number one, you can't see emotion on Facebook. Number two, if you misspell something and somebody's in the right temperament, you just started an argument over nothing, really. And
Dun, 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 dun. Grammar Nazis.
yeah,
Try being married to
Or gets
one.
like dyslexic who even makes spell checkers have heart attacks.
You think it's bad having to put up with grammar Nazis? Try being married to one.
I don't think a grammar Nazi would marry me.
They did me, so there's still hope for you there, pal.
Okay, the soap's done.
yay.
So basically, it's 2 lines of holes,
And just let
right?
you know, you gotta do traffic. There's my old one, which does actually have a few burns on it. This one hasn't been fired yet. That's done.
Now,
You know how
explain
fast they
what
go.
the holes are for.
They're with this type of stove. It's considered a light pressurized jet. You put the fire in there. You put the fuel in there. If about an ounce and a half, not quite up to the lines. You have to let them burn completely out. They'll burn for about 7 to 8 minutes, which is enough time to boil 2 cups of water. You set it on there. Those are jets to heat the bottom of your can or your pot.
Odd question. So basically, you have enough time to make a pack of ramen noodles or something.
Yeah.
You can make them. I've made everything from ramen noodles. I've done macaroni and cheese. We're talking box, not even pre-cooked noodles. Because they'll burn 2 cups of water to boil in like 6 minutes. And if you need a simmer, you just either do 1/2 like this, where you only do 1 row of holes. If you're only going to do 1 row of holes, I'd recommend doing the bottom ones and not the top set. You have to make sure you use a windscreen that's tight fit around the pot. That's why I use aluminum foil. And obviously, you want a good top holding the heat. But if you're giving them out in care packs, they're really good for things such as hot coffee. Because it gives them 2 cups of water they can boil. They don't have to do a full 2 cups, but it gives them the ability to have something hot when somebody's not around to give them something hot. It also boils enough water that they can do oatmeal. Things they need the wintertime. And yeah, I know summer, and I'm talking winter, but if you want to get deals on things, that's when you have to buy them is off season. Winter stuff in the summer and summer stuff in the winter. Thrift stores become your friends. And yeah, my coffee cans are also free because I'll buy cheap coffee like this, mix it in with my good coffee that I drink, which comes in plastic containers or beans, and I need the cans. So my coffee is only mediocre quality by the time I get to more cans, but
now actually, folks,
28-ounce.
You're doing enough right shopping. You
As
can
long
make
as
a whole survival kit out of that one coffee can, including the cook soap you just saw Figment make.
I can also teach you guys how, maybe I'll get another can to it in another show. I can show you how to turn one of these into what's referred to as a hobo stove,
now,
which
that would
is
be
a little
more
bit
useful.
different. But
I've actually made one of those.
But hobo stoves?
Yep.
Hey, y'all can do it together. Just no one show.
They're easy to make. I like these better. But then again, that's because I go camping and hiking and backpacking with one of these nifty bottles with me. I use methanol because it does light better in cold weather, even though you don't get the same BTUs out of it.
Aha.
It's for cold weather. Denatured alcohol by itself doesn't like really cold weather, and I like winter camping. And I use an alcohol stove, and that's what these technically are. It's an alcohol stove. I use them in the wintertime when people say they don't work in the wintertime.
Now, for those who don't know much about these homemade stoves, what happens so much to put gasoline in those things as opposed to... Yeah, let's talk about that safety issue.
Kiss your eyebrows goodbye.
Yeah, because we're talking about that stuff, we need to talk about the safety issues involved.
Oh, yeah, if you spill these things and you're burning, you're talking about burning down a forest. I mean, whenever you have open flames, you have to be careful. But you only want to run denatured alcohol, not rubbing alcohol, not isopropyl alcohol, not gelified alcohol, but only denatured alcohol and methylene.
Yeah, and when you went, oh, like that wolf, did you make that mistake once?
No. I have a habit of watching The Smoking Gun Presents World's Dumbest.
Oh, yes, I love that show.
So I've seen it happen.
Be like old Adam Savage. Am I missing an eyebrow?
Go, by the way.
More or less.
But something else you should do if you have an RLSH team, though, or not even just an RLSH team, if you have any type of team or group of people together, you should go ahead and look at starting a blog. There's lots of free places out to host them, or invest a couple bucks and pay for web hosting. Because at least that way you know if they see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. But that's their choice. It's not somebody else censoring what they see and don't see.
And here's something else I was using when I first started. I used Craigslist to let people know I was out there. I was trying to help the city.
Yeah. Also,
But
I do
going back to
recommend.
You recommend what?
I do recommend getting a Google. What is it? Brain part. Google Voice, where you can have a number that rings your phone, but it don't give out your real number.
Way ahead of you, pal.
Yeah. I had Google Voice, but it was still in beta. Unfortunately, I don't attach that number to my RLSH. In fact, that's the number when Dark Ghost calls me. He calls me on my Google Voice number. That rings all the phones in the house.
And yes, folks, most of us are our friends off the show. I can't count how many times I just called up Figment there and shot the bull. And when I get a chance and actually catch Wolf online, I'll text him. Shoot the shit with him. Pardon my language again.
don't we talk a lot about what was it, 4 to 5 days a week for 3 to
Yeah,
4 hours at a time?
yeah, sometimes longer.
And usually when I'm home or around Wi-Fi, I'm on Facebook doing something.
Yeah, in fact, Wolf, I even called you one time and talked to you via Facebook while I was at work. Remember?
Yeah, I remember. I had to set that up. My Vista machine hates that, but I had to go in there and do some things. Yeah, I'm not good with machines, but I can get them to work.
You're not good with a knife. What are you talking about?
No, he's
Oh,
good with the knife,
trust
just
me.
not while he's working. But no, like my Robo Instant Burner, by the way, Wolf.
Ah, nice.
And of course, it's in my patented unofficial beverage drink.
Oh, by the way,
I was
Wolf, I
lucky
gotta
enough.
show you this because you might recognize these style glass cups.
Ooh, nice.
That's not a bad one.
Uh,
Right.
perfect cold beverage container right there, folks.
But just remember, if
Yeah.
your beer is fine out of tin or brass, but if you get wine in brass with some copper in it, it turns poison.
Yeah, don't worry, that's for cold beverages. Yeah, okay, folks. Yes, I think most of us here do drink every now and then. But this is great for
Or
like if you just want a hot beverage, even if you like me, I prefer hot
Yeah.
teas. Earl Grey. Oh God,
Also, the
I love.
tin cups are way easy to keep clean.
Yes, there are.
Oh,
But
that'd have
this
been
one,
another one.
I'm gonna is pure
My
stainless
son,
steel.
see, I'll be honest, I'm one of those freaks. I either drink out of a titanium mug or plastic cups because my dad likes to break glass, so I don't keep glass anywhere in the house for him to break. Or I drink out of
Yeah,
my hydration bladder.
yeah. You see, I'm kind of surprised Wolf ain't drinking out of one of those old Viking horns. You know, they hauled out and use it to drink out of.
I've been known to. I
actually,
actually
I
have.
got one.
I know you got one, but I'm surprised you don't use it more often. Like just for the
I
ha ha
actually need to
ha.
wash it and use it. But
Yeah, no, it's
I
not
haven't
being
drank
wolf
out
say, oh, yeah, we have one, just like we both have one of these. It has nothing to do with being pagan on having the drinking horns.
of it.
Having one of those has nothing to do with it. I've seen people get those, put the little LED lights under them just for the display purposes, like because they look cool.
Yeah, I don't have my crystal skull with me, too. I have a crystal skull, too, so I'm a little bit strange.
Yeah, and there's camo on it too.
Okay, you're talking about strange. We got a terrorist-looking pagan, the redneck merc, and the Christian who
I
support, and the
got
Baptist who supports
classic.
you guys, and will help fight for your damn rights. Pardon my language again, folks. That is a very thing I'm passionate about. People construing the Bible to spread hate. Wrong.
Yes, and the sad thing is, the
And
two pagans here probably have more religious text than the Christian does.
the more modern version of the drinking horn.
There we go.
The old GI canteen and cup. Do you have the stove for it, too?
No stove yet.
We're gonna take care of that, Wolf. When I get in the Air Force, I'm gonna get you one just because you have
They're
that.
actually hard to get.
What?
They're actually really hard to get. Don't use that style anymore.
Amazon, Amazon, and I repeat, Amazon.
Make some out of
If that
surplus,
don't
or
work,
else we still have a
eBay.
stove for it. Yeah, I have a vintage set of those things sitting around. I have also some really interesting. I'm going to turn my cam off for a second. I'm going to show you guys something you probably neither one have seen, but requires me getting up, and I don't think you want to see what I'm wearing.
Probably not.
Let's breathe.
Oh, he's going to get that, Wolf. What was that? Drinking horn you just showed? Let me put your camera on big so I can see get a better look at that.
The drinking horn. Okay. It's over here.
Yeah.
I got this one years ago.
All right. Oh, nice.
It's lined with beeswax, so you can't hold anything hot in it, and you can't take it outside when it's really hot either.
Well, that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
I can just picture Wolf having a lemonade on a hot day with one of those things.
yeah, my drinking horn's been shot with Celtic knotwork. But here's something that will make Wolf jealous. You know what this is, Wolf?
Hell banknote. Nope. What is it?
No. This is a World War II bulletproof Bible.
Ah, I haven't seen one of those
Holy
in a
cow.
long time.
Yeah. World War II. I'd show the inside cover, but it actually gives too much space on my grandpa.
Ah.
Wow.
I should grab the other thing. I'll make these other two people nuts too. I'll be right back again.
Same here, because honestly, folks, I gotta use the restroom.
All right, now get back down. Here's another thing that will make Wolf a little bit jealous and possibly Dark Ghost.
Dark Ghost.
And the rest of the RLSH community. This box right here has something that would drive comic book aficionados crazy that I have. And what it is, it's a lettering kit originally used to do draft notes and all the lettering in comic books. This one was actually used in the development of the Bomark missiles, which were unmanned nuclear airplanes designed to blow up squadrons of other airplanes. Another one of those industry projects my grandpa worked on. But yes, weapon design does run in my family.
I've watched too many of the old Friday the 13th the series. I expect you to pour blood on it, and it does something, like any other cursed object.
Yeah. Yes, spare blood on the bulletproof Bible. The Gideons will come back from the dead and attack me.
What I miss?
Just show and tell.
Yeah, another show and tell thing. I was showing him this. Dark Ghost, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
See you.
I gotta get my mask back on. I had to go. Hey, I'm a ghost. I can turn invisible.
Yeah, this is a lettering kit. Same things they used to do the comic book lettering in.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a complete set, including the font sticks to determine the fonts. These are what they used in the Golden Age of comics to do all their lettering.
Nice.
And this kit is only missing two things, which I'm looking for replacement parts now, and they're actually the transfer pins, which used to wear out, and that's why it doesn't have it, because it was actually used and they've worn out. I also have Transit over there, which was part of the original USGS survey to map out the U.S.
Wow.
Like I said, Figment has a bunch of interesting toys with history.
And my screen is blank for a minute until the screensaver kicks on. I didn't move stuff
And yes,
around.
I have a bunch of these things too. And a computer that will still read them.
Oh, wow. That is some ancient technology there, folks. A
I
floppy
remember
disk.
those.
Believe it or not, on my shelf over there, I have a shrink-wrapped hard drive for it, still brand new, never been used.
Wow. Man, when they used to use those on a show, like, oh my God, that is the only hope to save the world. Whatever information is on this disk.
Floppy disks, were once saved the world.
Now it's USB drive.
Heard about this disc right here? This is a scary disc. It's part of my virus collection.
Ooh.
Bum, bum, bum.
Okay, people, I used to run a bulletin board back before the internet. So I was a sysop. And one of the things sysops tend to do is whenever somebody tries a virus to infect their machines or the files they have online, they tend to get the viruses and collect them. I have about a gig's worth, all on 1 meg floppy disks of computer viruses. If it's been coded anytime before 1990, I probably have a copy of it.
Do I dare ask what the most dangerous virus is you have in your collection?
Dangerous or annoying?
Yeah, I dare.
Well,
Do what now?
I said dangerous or annoying?
Dangerous.
Well, I have a theoretical pyro, but I've never tested it. So I don't know how functional it really works. What?
Okay, you got me. That's a little too old school.
What pyrovirus does is there's never been a case of one found in the wild. So mine's a theoretical, it's never been found in the wild. What it does, it tells the computer that the hard drive needs more power. Constantly telling the computer the hard drive needs more power. Eventually the hard drive incinerates itself.
Good grief.
I mean, that's putters. I don't know the rest of it, but you know what?
I've been tempted to put together an old 286 to see if it actually does that.
Yeah, just have a fire extinguisher handy.
Why?
Because I've actually heard of one of those getting some on a computer, and the computer caught fire.
Well, see, I'd take it out in the middle of the West Desert, plug it into one of my portable power systems, and fire it up. If it incinerates, see how bad it incinerates, see if I can recover the data off the 40 meg hard drive. See if it really did its trick. But there's also another disc in my collection, which I'm not going to pull out, but it was also one of those back in the early days of hacking. You'd stick it in your floppy drive, and what it would do is it'd spin up, and itself would light on fire. What you do is you use strike anywhere matches and coat the disc with, you'd glue them down, coat the disc with, and reseal it up. Stick it in your drive and turn it on, and light up inside your computer. No one ever said I did things nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Now you see why, folks, when I have technical issues that I can't figure out, I go to Figment. If I have questions about the obscure, possibly even paranormal, I go to Wolf.
One of my side projects also has been getting the word out, the human rights word out, on the Yazidis that are fleeing from Iraq and all the areas over there that are seeking asylum in the U.S. and other places. They're not Muslim. The Yazidis practice an ancient religion that's actually a mix of, it is a mix of early Christianity, a little bit of Islam and stuff, but it's actually a pagan tradition that goes all the way back to Mesopotamia.
I get everyone, Wolf, fighting for pagan rights everywhere.
I'll fight for anyways right here that you walked on.
Yep.
Yeah. As I've said, folks, even Figment can tell you, I'm a devout Baptist, But you mess with my buddies here, I will have their back.
Don't forget your wife's also pagan.
Yes, right. And I fully support her on that. Openly.
Or semi-openly. The way your
I mean,
family is.
semi. Yeah, true. But the point is, folks, I don't believe in the magic and stuff that pagans believe in. But you know what? She does. These two do. So who am I to trample on their beliefs? In fact, the Christian Bible, the King James Version, tells you not to do that. And Westboro, you're jerks because you twist it to a hate message.
Well, there's also references of magic being used in the Bible, like Moses' staff turning into the serpent.
Yeah. But this original was about communication. And like this right now, like we're doing right now, folks, just the three of us sitting on here talking about this stuff, that's a communication method. Because not only can you watch it live, you can go back and watch it on YouTube later if you missed something.
Oh, there's something else that we need to bring up. Right now on social media, and it has been for a little while, is the bathroom rights on transgender people in the bathroom.
It's a dadgum smoke screen, folks.
Wolf and I have a different view than Dark Ghost. But we also live in different areas. Where I live, a transgender person right now without laws in effect would get shot for going into the same sex because they think they're cross-dressing. If they go into the other opposite because of all the news media, they'll get shot because they'll be called a pervert.
Yep.
So these pushes have actually endangered a lot of people's lives. And the government is using these types of
here, there was a person shot, born male, identifies more as female, and they were shot for going into the female restroom.
Yeah, because there was also a case in Texas where it happened where a girl was beat because she looked too much like a dyke.
Yeah, and the one that was shot had already had surgery too.
So you heard about that down here in my area?
Yeah. She had already made the transition, so
yeah.
Why would she be in the room?
And there was another case here recently I saw on the news. Woman got, she grew her hair out long, donated it to the cancer victims, they make wigs out of.
She was big and
yep.
Yeah, box of love. And yeah, it happens. But it's all this stuff is things that the government's been doing to scare people, to hide this from the truth and get us distracted. I don't mean to sound like some anti-government terrorist-looking thing. Ironically enough, I'm fitting the description now. But a lot of times when these things at the news media and social networks,
not us.
a lot of these times when these things at the social networks, they're not really the issue. You have to look what's going on behind the scenes. If this bathroom issue is what's going on behind the scenes, let's see here. Congress turned down veterans' rights, voted down on
veterans'
they
rights.
cut Social Security veterans' rights, Social Security rights for veterans. We're all done while the smoke screen of where you pee was distracting everybody.
Yep. See, folks, the government uses mainstream media to hide their activities from us, the people. You want to know what's really going on? Ignore the mainstream.
Like people like Wolf, he often comes across like he's anti-gun. He's not really anti-gun. He's more like, well, I'm going to say it, more like anti-asshole with a gun.
Yeah, that, and I really don't want people to know that I know how to use a gun, and there may be guns in this house for self-defense.
Well, honestly, Wolf, given your predicament, pagan in a redneck area, no offense, pal, but you'd be kind of a fool not to.
Okay. See, even in the Figment layer, that's in a reinforced spot, I have one.
And note, folks, my hand is not on the trigger. If you're going to show a gun, look where my finger is.
But see, the thing is...
That goes for cosplayers, too.
Yeah.
if you cosplay as a military, keep the show your finger or trigger control. Finger does not go on the trigger whenever you're posting with the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Thank
seen
you.
so many
See?
military cosplayers finger on the trigger, and I'm like,
Okay, I'm going to unload mine for a moment. Now I can demonstrate this betterly. As you can see, folks, it is unloaded. Everyone sees that,
Don't close
right?
don't close the chamber if you're gonna do what I think you're gonna do.
I'm not going to. It is okay, folks. Proper way to pose the gun. Improper way.
yeah,
Yeah. So that
And
may be the
folks,
possibility of
if you
not
do,
how to store your guns.
yeah,
But
folks, and also, if you do have a firearm, Figment, you can back me up on this. Have a proper storage for it.
yeah, have proper storage. Have ways you can lock them up if need be. I mean, I don't lock mine up, but if I had to, I could. I mean, I do have a fully stocked gun safe, which I store my ammo like you're not supposed to do. But if I ever have to lock them up, I have a place I can lock them up. I have space for
also, those building a house or headquarters, I was lucky enough to be able to put up some of the walls here in what is my living room and slash headquarters and everything. So when you come up the steps, it's narrow when you get up there. So if somebody's charging in, they can't really charge in full. They have to slowly turn around and everything. So I made it narrow in places. And there are certain steps that make noise when somebody steps on them.
them. Yeah,
So I know
Oh,
if
heck,
somebody's
you love it
coming.
nicer than me. Oh, it just makes noise. I'd have an electrified step somehow. I could turn on and off a switch.
I have two wonderful dogs that bark at everything that doesn't belong in the house.
Ah.
I'm in a family full of rednecks, and they hear everything outside.
And if you're lucky, my dogs won't hurt you. By the way, people, both my dogs are work animals. They're not just service animals, but their breed themselves are known for doing things like herding bison. So
Oh, shoot,
humans are
we only
nothing.
got 2 minutes left, folks.
Oh, crap.
Hey, it was all about communication. Sometimes you get carried away. I wasn't paying attention at the time. If it goes a little long, it goes a little long. I don't care. As long as it's not too incredibly short.
Yeah.
About an hour, not an hour on the dot. I'm not a clock watcher.
And another means of communication that people are underestimating, I'm going old school here. There's this thing called a post office. There's these things called envelopes. Folks, you can use these.
Some of us still use that method the most.
But point is, when all else fails, you can always write a letter.
Yes, and here's something you need to consider yourself. Consider communications. There needs to be a way that you can communicate securely. Learn ways to encrypt. Encryption can be your friend.
Encryption goes all the way back to before the days of computers, before the days of electricity, even.
Yes, Caesar. Yeah, it was Caesar who used to take his slaves and shave their heads, tattoo messages on them, let the hair grow back. It's part of steganography. And then he would just pick the message based on the slave he sent.
Yep.
Then you got Mary Queen of Scots, who messed up because she used the same code constantly, and it got cracked, so she was executed. So encryption's important.
Yeah. Also, power outages. These old-fashioned phones still work in a power outage.
Mine doesn't.
Yes. I recommend anybody who has a home have an old-fashioned landline. Do not rely strictly on cordless because they fail miserably. Nah, go to a dollar store.
There used to be a light bulb, a little 40-watt that had a phone cord to it, and during a power outage, you'd actually plug it into the phone jack, and it would light up. There are ways of making a modern version of this.
They're still available on Amazon, by the way.
Okay. Those are great for power outages. They don't need an outside source. They can tap the phone cord.
Discordia, can you hand me that lantern?
Yeah,
Stand it here.
telephone lines, if you're actually hooked up to the power and a tree doesn't go through the line, you will have 3 volts of power that comes through on the phone line. It's 7
And
volts
folks,
when it trips the ring.
Here's my emergency power outage light.
Ooh, I used to have one of those. I dropped it during the snowstorm.
Well, these are actual Brooklyn lanterns that you've seen advertised on TV. And you can see they're quite bright. I mean, come on, look at how much brightness.
Control.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how bright these things are.
Yeah. You can also find those.
But this is what I usually have. I use a headlamp for most of my flashlight work.
And of course, I got my standard little detective light.
Yeah.
Or I can blind you.
Join the club.
But no, I tend to use headlamps more than I do conventional flashlights. You can always hold them in your hand, and you can always make them hands-free relatively easy.
This one too, because mine's got a little magnet on the back of it.
But yeah, you should always have a way to communicate power outage. I don't have a phone line attached to my house from the pole. The only utility I have to move from my pole is my power. If I had a way to sever that, I would. I have to use these when power goes out.
And here's something that's kind of outdated, but it works with those radios. Can you show your radio there again, please, Figment? Morse code. Everyone should learn Morse code.
Yeah, but this one I can also type into the phone patch too. I can actually make phone calls on this one.
Okay, I'm getting one of those.
You have to have a phone relay point, an auto patch is what they're called. My radio club happens to have one, so I can tie into it.
But my point is, any radio nowadays, even the modern ones, have a little button that goes.
This one doesn't.
I'm dropping things.
Morse code is still real useful to this day, folks. Learn it.
Oh, and being your typical redneck, I also have one.
Am I the only non-redneck in the room?
I just disabled the Morse code button on this one. I programmed it out. So instead of being Morse code, it actually is a channel check.
Hey, Chihuahua. My wife heard that clear across the room, and I'm on a headset.
But yeah, that's what pops up. I tell people to get a headlamp, and honestly, what Southerner does not have a headlamp? I mean,
this one?
See, another reason why I encourage people having radios is because you can get the weather alerts.
Yep. And
which is important. This one's not a scan. No, this one scans, but only the frequencies I can transmit on. Now this one goes from 1400 megahertz to, 1400 to 14600 megahertz.
Yeah, this mostly turned into us just shooting the bull episode, but oh well, you know what? It's fun, and it happens.
It's communications, and we talked about stressful things in the beginning.
Yeah, you know what?
When you're stressed out, you have to unwind.
Yeah, you know what though, folks?
Go
Here's the reason we go off track so easy. That just goes to show not everything goes as planned.
Hey, we kept going back to communication methods, and we still are talking about them a little bit, and we're gone over 5 minutes. It's a big deal. No, so I said I'm not clock watching.
Yeah. Wow.
Now,
really,
if one of these is not in your computer, it's not going to do you any good for any form of communication.
Now, explain to the viewers at home what that is.
The sound card. This was actually a Sound Blaster Live 5.1
Sound card.
Yeah.
with mini port.
Yeah, remember, you're showing something, you gotta explain what it is, because then everyone's immediately gonna know what that is.
Yeah, I forgot most
Especially
motherboards have it on them. I also have an 8-bit sound card somewhere. Not real reachable, though.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a stack of internal modems, too. And network cards.
Good grief.
What? What's up, Wolf?
Well, see, in show and tell, I can say, oh, this is the side panel for my computer.
I can't show that on my computer because I'm kind of using the camera on the computer.
Well, this computer is kind of like dead. I need to give a new power supply for it.
Oh,
of
that's
course
what
I
you
have-
were telling me about here a few weeks ago.
I have to show my big crystal ball.
Oh, yeah. Stop showing off your balls!
No, it's only singular.
Okay,
Uh,
stay ahead of a vasectomy. Gotcha.
yes.
Yes, folks, we get a little raunchy. You know what? It happens.
This episode, I said, was going to be a little bit foul. But we were talking about some personal things, and part of the reason why it got off track is because we kind of have to unwind a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean that's probably the most emotion you'll ever see out of me, folks. Because you think we could probably tell I was trying to fight back tears.
Well, I muted you just so you wouldn't be overheard.
Yeah, thank you for that.
But it's always about saving face when you can. See, people may not realize that. Well, I'll put it out there. I have a form of autism called Asperger's, which means that I don't show emotion very well and don't interpret emotion very well, but I do understand it when people are going through it. So even in rough times, I'll seem like I'm in a good mood when I may not be. So it kind of makes things difficult for people to understand or read me.
Yeah,
I also
I
have
can
a hard
vouch
time
that,
reading.
folks.
So I'm not ashamed of hiding who I am.
Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and tell you, folks. Figment's one tough nut to crack, and I do mean emphasis on the nut.
Hey, you know some of the things I've experienced now.
Yeah, but you're still a nut.
I mean, come on. One of the things, by the way, people, one of the things that I'm talking about personal experiences, a lot of people can't handle seeing a dead body. It freaks them out, even as they get older, when they see a dead human. My first exposure to a dead human, I was 7 years old. And the key word there is first.
And
I
that
saw
wasn't
my
even, it was a corpse. It was floating, wasn't it?
Yep. It was floating and bloated.
So I've been there a while.
Yeah.
Like maybe about 24 hours in the water, if I had to guess from what your description was.
Probably 6 months.
Oh, wow. So it's more bloated than what you led me to believe.
Yeah, the person went through the ice, and they weren't able to recover. When they could, it happened to be recovered on my shoreline.
Ah, okay, that explains the difference, because it was frozen up and then he got stuck on the ice. Okay.
That's why you don't walk on ice, people. You go through the ice, you cannot find your way out.
And also, folks, if you are having to do an ice rescue, crawl on all fours.
Or have somebody insane like me do it.
Yeah.
Okay, people, I grew up on a lake that would freeze over most of the time, never thick enough to walk on. So I'm kind of experienced with water rescues, including ice, and I've been trained for open water and river. So water rescue was always one of the things I was big on. As Wolf smiles.
I got a kitty.
Wolf with a cat.
Is
that okay?
As long as you don't pull an Alf and try to eat the cat.
That's one thing. If you drape your walls with fabric, the cats will climb it.
Yeah, we won't talk about a hole in my ceiling that the cats decide is a nice secret passageway to another one of my rooms. You look
Yeah, I
at
was really
and
surprised
all
they
you see is
just
these
dropped in
fat
on you.
club. What was that?
I wouldn't be surprised if one day they just dropped in on you like, meow.
Uh,
So
He's
people,
looking
I'm at
like,
100.
"Dadgummit, he said it and I got all luck."
I'm in a 120-year-old house, so nothing surprises me about this place. In fact, there's still a room in this
Oh.
house that I haven't dug my way into yet because the door's sealed shut on it.
Huh.
They
Well,
haven't
folks,
gotten around to.
well, Figma, I think we pretty much covered everything we can on this show, on this episode tonight. It is now 11
Yeah, I
minutes
think you're
after.
right. Oh, clock watcher. But anyways, when it comes to communications, you gotta make sure you keep the communication flows as open as possible. Use every method you have at your disposal. Learn how to encrypt things to keep things confidential. Because I
And
know
learn Morse code.
Dark Ghost has received a few confidential things which should have been encrypted, but most people don't know encryption. Learn it. It's not that hard.
Hey, that's one thing I'm going to work when I come visit now, isn't it? Didn't we discuss that?
Yes.
Okay.
That and marksmanship skills.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I've apparently had a natural talent, folks, but guess what? I'm nothing compared to dead shot terrorist over there.
I don't think anybody in the U.S. is comparable, okay? But then
That's why I
again,
use a fictional character.
I have 40 years of gun experience, and so, yeah.
And
I
you see,
probably
folks, that's about communication. I think we all forgot to touch on real quick. Communicate with your fellow RLSH because they might be willing to teach you some stuff they know that you don't.
exactly. And never be afraid to say you don't know something or can't do something. Too many people refuse to communicate that because they think it's a sign of weakness. I have many skills and talents, but I'm the last person to ask on how to spell something or fix your car. I mean, those are two areas I'm not very good at.
Okay, I'm okay with auto repair. I'm terrible at spelling. Thank God for autocorrect. Although sometimes it can make a message sound weird, especially when you have that southern accent.
And remember, people, not everything you have is trash either.
Well, before you throw away something, folks, think of it this way. It's something I've always asked myself. What would MacGyver do with this?
Just like, so they get some more Tyvek in, I'm going to start making bivy bags for the homeless in the wintertime to give them. It'll increase the temperature of their sleep system by 10 to 15 degrees and keep them dry, which can save their life for a whole whopping $5 for the Tyvek and 30 minutes of your time. And it'll last them a good year. So, just because you think it's trash doesn't necessarily mean it is trash.
Tell me about it.
But anyways, we're going to go ahead.
I reused olive jars. I reuse olive jars as containers for almost everything. So,
Especially with you being pagan, you have to have all those different herbs and stuff there. Perfect, right?
yep.
Actually, I buy my jars special for my herbs. I make sure they're ambered and light tight.
Another thing, the dollar store has these crackers. They hardly ever go bad if you don't open them. So, I actually...
Yeah, they're dollar. Dollar store crackers, yum.
Those are pretty tasty with the shrimp spread.
These don't have high fructose corn syrup in them like a lot of crackers do, and I can't have high fructose corn syrup, which sucks because it's almost in almost everything.
Oh man! Hey, at least you still have bacon.
Yeah, I can still have bacon.
That's because it's cheaper than sugar and actually contains less sugar than sugar. Doesn't crystallize. It actually has properties they're looking for, but Anyway, like Dark Ghost was saying, if we don't hurry up and end the show, we're going to end up in a 2-hour special, and we don't want that.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. No,
No, if it was going to go to that point, we'd do a split episode and take a break in between. Especially with the meds I'm on, because I might have to run to the can.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, people, these are not just antibiotics, but they're also antiviral. I'm wearing my terrorist mask, so I'm slightly swollen. But, no, so that means about every hour I have a fever that bounces up to 103 degrees and lasts for about an hour while it's burned through the virus. The virus I have is a cousin to hemorrhagic fever, otherwise known as Ebola. It's the least of the toxic ones of it, but it's in the same family. So they're treating it kind of seriously. And yeah, it can be fatal, but it's not nearly as contagious. It's transmitted the same way MRSA is, which means pretty much anything can be a carrier for it, so it's unknown where I picked it up from. But it's one of those nice things that has to be reported to the CDC, too.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Looking forward to that medical bill.
Yeah, you get it. You go right back to the hospital from shock.
Yeah. But anyway,
And
you guys keep communicating.
It looks like
What was that?
Wikipedia is not going to delete my page. They're not going to. It looks like they're not going to delete it. I think they accepted the new info I put in.
Yeah, well, if we're going to have to do something about that and actually fork out $10 for you to get an actual URL for your church.
Well, I have an actual free website that hardly do anything on it. I'm usually on Facebook. We got a Facebook page, and that's usually what I use. It's the easiest.
Yeah, I usually, with my personal project I'm doing, one of the reasons why I'm wearing the mask, I don't want to mix the RLSH work with my other project I'm doing, is my personal website, which I'm not going to give out the domain name or any of that stuff. When I do an entry post in the WordPress blog, it automatically relays it to Facebook and Twitter, and if I do a video on that for that project, it automatically gets updated to, again, Facebook, Twitter, and then back to my website. So I have them all interlinked. Oh, and then of course the one I never use, Tumblr, but that's kind of to get me a little bit more publicity. But no, we need to pay for a URL for you, Wolf, to help cut down those problems. They're $10 a year.
I mean, come on, church donations right there.
Yep.
Hey, they're tax writable.
Actually, it is.
Oh man, I gotta do that too. Dang it. Next month I have to renew a handful of URLs.
Always fun.
I have to renew RLSHbook.com and one other website. The other one's still good for another year. So, yeah, some domains I register for them a year at a time. Some I'll do it for 2 and 3 years at a time, depending on the importance of the site. RLSH book that was new, I only was doing it for a year at a time. I'm probably going to do this one for a year at a time. Maybe next year I'll bump it up to more. It's all about saving money when I do the registration at the time. But anyways, I'm going to cut this off. This is Figment getting out of here.
And Wolf.
And Dark Ghost.
Yeah, we kind of heard Dark Ghost. But anyways, see you guys
And
next
Dark
week.
Ghost. There you go.